What would be your advice? You're going abroad for plastic surgery. Don't know where to start on that one. I mean, personally, I don't advise people to go abroad for plastic surgery. I know what you're thinking. He would say that, isn't it? He would say that. He wants people to come to him. No, I don't particularly want people to come to me. You can go to anyone if you want. That's fine. There's lots of good surgeons about. Um, but I don't think it's good to go abroad for a couple of reasons. One, it's just difficult going abroad. Um, it's just an extra level of complexity that I would say you don't need in what can be quite a stressful time. Um, ideally you want to go close to home. So these things I'm saying are actually also qualify for people who live far away. So if you live in Scotland, you think you have the surgery done in London or Cornwall or something like that. Excuse me. Ideally you don't want to be going too far for your surgery, and particularly going abroad. Not only because of the surgery, but also if you need revision surgery, you normally have to have it done at the same place you had the primary surgery, so you'd have to go abroad again. So there's hassles and costs with that. Also going abroad, particularly if it involves a flight, then you will have a risk of DVT and PE, which is a risk with any surgery, which is clots in your legs, which can fly off into your lungs. And that happens because of immobility. And so if when you're having surgery, you're immobile, so you're multiplying up your risks by having a period in an aeroplane, because it has an increased risk when you're in an aeroplane. That's why you wear those flight socks, and people tell you to keep your legs moving, keep your ankles moving, all that sort of stuff. Thank you, whatever happened on Instagram there. Got some hearts coming through, but I'm not familiar with the platform, so I don't really know how, but thank you. Not a bad thing, is it? So you're worried about that. The other thing that I would worry about is, I don't know if you just have to stay with me for a while to see people saying, I had my surgery done in, I don't know, Poland, Turkey, whatever, last week or 3 weeks ago, and one side's bigger than the other. What should I do? And I say, speak to a surgeon. They say, I can't speak to the surgeon. They can't not take my calls, or I can't get hold of them, or like that. And I'm thinking, God, that's terrible. Because you need to work close with your surgeon after surgery, particularly after a lot of body contouring surgery, a lot of the stuff that I do, tummy tucks, breasts, stuff, because it often doesn't look right to start with. So you need to have a good connection with your surgeon, because it often doesn't look right, quite frankly, and it can be quite distressing if you're not really got help, if they're not really supporting you through that. So I think you've got to think about all these things, and I think the problem is if it all goes well, not the problem is, but the fact is if it all goes well, then happy days, and the vast majority of surgery does go well, fortunately. But if it doesn't, it can be a bit of a false economy, in my experience, and you can be left regretting it. So I understand it's significantly cheaper, but I would probably say I'm not sure whether it's worth doing if you can't afford to have it done in this country, because the other thing you've got to realise is why some places are ridiculously cheap, and I don't know why they're ridiculously cheap. I'd have to look at their books or whatever why they're. I don't know how they can do it that cheap, because in this country we've got insurance, medical indemnity, which costs us thousands of pounds a month. So we're covered for millions, because if you've got any problems, you're covered then. So yeah, but yeah, my advice is not great on it. Write about it in my book, but I would say don't do it. And I do practice what I preach, because sometimes people from abroad want to come here, and I say the same thing. Works both ways. If you live in abroad and you want to come here, look for someone local to help you. Is my advice on that.